How's it going? I was just watching Heartlands Media, and they had an interview with Howie Hawkins. He's running under the Green Party for president. Now, I forget what channel I was watching, and I saw the 2018 interview on Primo Netbank of Hooie Hawkins. And I call him Hooey because he sounded like the unhinged propaganda, disinformation, misinformation, uh, uh, television punditry that MSNBC would have. I mean, he sounded as rabid as Rachel Maddow and that other one, as well as Jake Tapper of CNN and that Cuomo idiot and all those. And I only just saw a little clip of it, but then I actually went and looked at the Primo Netmeg. Now, I had actually found Primo Netmeg, but I kind of blasted them away because the first video I saw, I thought, oh, okay, this is making sense. This is all following mostly along lines of truth, but then there was some other wackiness and degeneration from it, and so I'm like, okay, I'm not interested in this. So, but I went on to Primo Network, looked up the video of that interview, and watched the full thing. At no time did Hooey not sound like the pundits found on MSNBC. And as a matter of fact, he actually sounded sometimes he was sounding like he was on Fox. That's how bad he was. So Heartlands did an interview, and now he's talking all the things that I talk about on my videos. Now, mind you, this is back in 2018. This interview happened. So it's 2020, approaching. It's 2020, and now he's saying the exact opposite. He's saying that it's a smear campaign, that it's all this and so on and so forth. And the interview, it was interesting because in the interview, the guy that does the show, he just asked some basic things, and then basically allows Hooey to ramble on and go on and speak his mind. So this wasn't he wasn't being egged on by this guy. Nothing. Hooey just decided to unload all of his BS. That whole thing about Russiagate, he was all for it. He bought into it. He sounded like MSNBC. He sounded like all the other propaganda, state-run media punditry. So, and and a lot of the stuff that he's talking about on the interview, he was, let's say, less than convincing on if you watch the interview on Primo Nutmeg, and then watch what he says on Heartlands. Now, Hooey requested the interview on Heartlands, and Heartlands gave it to him. So all I have to say is I don't tend to believe him. And and there's also other reports about the Green Party. The Green Party in the U.S. seems to be taking cues from the DNC and the RNC. Reports I'm seeing is that there's a lot of people who are not part of the leadership in the or the people that are, the heads of the Green Party. They seem to be doing a lot of the stuff, and there's a lot of discontent among the contributing members, or you can call them the constituents, and or electorate of the Green Party. It sounds like there's a lot of griping from the lower, and so between all that and this clear, absolute clear lying and backtracking and giving this basically two different perspectives, and both can't be right. And these other reports about the Green Party in the United States, I have a tendency to not only question Hooie, but basically I'm calling him a liar. And the other thing, David Dole, he's a Canadian, and he talks about the shit that the Green Party leadership does up there. And they are doing a lot of the voting for a lot of the austerity and elitist neoliberal crap up there as well, just like the Democrats do down here. Now, the Greens actually have people that are in the government, but they often do the virtual signaling, but and the social virtual signaling, but they often do like like much like AOC and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. They do a lot of the grandstanding, but then they end up voting for clearly hostile policies of doing daylight robbery, the biggest heist in world history, just like Bernie did. So, and then there's the example of AOC lying about, and I made a video saying I was sorry to AOC, and then I corrected it because I looked into it further, and because I had hoped and that AOC was going to be I wanted to be a fan of AOC and so on and so forth. So I let my hope cloud my judgment and so on and so forth. And I wanted her to be everything that I built her up to be. The same with Ilhan Omar and Bernie Sanders. And so I did a video, even though I had already seen hints to the otherwise. And I just couldn't face it. But then I really looked into it, and I had to do a video to retract the previous video on AOC and apologizing to her. So this is the sort of crap, and the woman that's one of the leaders in the Green Party in Canada, her name is May. I forget her first name, but she's a shifty bitch. And she shouldn't get all the accolades she has, because she's done as much damage as the liberals and conservatives up in Canada. Same thing down here. It's they may have different names for them, but they're basically they operate the same way as the U.S. parties do. So just like the British system, they operate exactly like the U.S. party. So, yeah, I wouldn't vote. I wouldn't vote for Hooey with a 10-foot pole. Not at all. Jill Stein. I think. I'm not a huge fan of her, but I think she's more genuine. I don't think she's very well thought out on some of the things, or if she does, she's doing it in such a obscure way that I can't get it. But Jill Stein, I would vote for Jill if she were to run. I would vote for Joseph Ventura if he were to run. But Hooey, hell no. The there is no logical or rational way you can take what he said in 2018. Again, I stress 2018 on Primo Nutmeg, and then hear a more populist, sane, and rational policy and other things on Hardlands, which I just finished watching, and say, "Oh, I'll ignore everything that he said on Primo, without much encouragement, by the way, actually no encouragement, and then say, oh, okay, you can't. It's illogical, it's irrational, it's immoral, it's irresponsible. This isn't like he did it in the 1980s, one time, in the 1980s, or in the 1990s. This is 2018. So I don't buy Hooey. And anybody who falls prey to him, then you have it coming because you didn't do your research. Now I'm gonna look. I'm actually gonna do another one because I'm gonna look into a Hooey even further. Okay, and it may be that he just was having a bad day, and he had a meltdown, and he started, I don't know, but I don't think so. He was too concise. He was too precise, and so that is a huge warning signal because that's the sort of stuff I expect to hear out of Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, out of the MSN and CNN and NBC and CBS punditry. That's exactly, and the left does this a lot, and this really irritates me, is that they give them this benefit of the doubt. There is no benefit of the doubt. They do it consistently. They change up when things need it so that they can cover. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. It is not a mistake. There are no benefit of the doubt. It is surgical and clinical in the way they do it. So I can't give Hooie a pass. And the fact that I'm calling him Hooie instead of Howie should tell you something. Yes, I am belittling him. Yes, I am attacking him. And I'm not hiding it.